And welcome back to the What If series. Week of What Ifs. This is technically the second one, but we'll see how I'm actually feeling better now the more I'm doing this, so I'll probably actually have the Naruto one up by yesterday. But I'm pre-recording it, and I should be in the corner here. 1 second. Boop, there we go. This one goes to Parker Smith, who asked the question, what if Iroh was actually Zuko's father? Soap opera style, man. Turns out your uncle's really your father, and your father's really your uncle. So first off, how would this work? Well, I mean, we know for a fact actually that Zuko didn't really love Ozai. Zuko's mom didn't really love Ozai that much. And that, he banished her, she got banished and all that. And then there's a book where Zuko ends up finding his mother. Spoiler, she's still around. They end up finding her. But more importantly, so you could, and then, Iroh obviously lost his son in war. We actually don't know anything about Iroh's wife. We assume Iroh, in fact, I'm going to look that up right now. We actually know very little about Iroh's wife. Iroh, Avatar. In fact, I don't think we know anything about, except for obviously he had a wife. And I mean, he most likely had a wife because he doesn't seem like the kind of guy to, get a girl pregnant and be like, oh, you my baby mama? Okay. No. Let's see, position, successor, affiliations. Come on. Let's see here. Iroh playing a moment with his son Luen. Often component, but I'm trying to find early life and career. That's his birthplace, blah, blah, blah. 100, like his father for me, he was a renowned Fire Nation general. It doesn't say anything actually judged his childhood to be very difficult. Iroh eventually had one son, Liu Ten, whom was very close in blood very much. We know nothing about Iroh's wife. Like, I assume that his wife is dead. His son's dead. We know that. Or is he? Thanks to his Zuko being his real son. Anyway. But I assume that his wife is dead. Yeah. Like, maybe she died in childbirth. Because we hear nothing about, we know about Zuko's mom. We know about Katara's mom. Hell, we see a shot of Aang being born, for God's sake, at one point. We've seen Toph's parents. So, the main cast overall, we know most of these, their wives, their girlfriends. We know the majority of these characters, partners in some fashion. So, let's assume that with his wife dead and his son dying, Iroh and, oh God, what was Zuko's mom's name? Hold on. Zuko's mom. Let's see here. Where's Oza? Where's the royal family? Prince Baba, Fire Lord Ozai, throne daughter Nope. That Zumi's apparently his daughter. Ursa. Is that it? Ursa's disappearance? Probably. Yep. Ursa. Okay. So Ursa and Iroh, Ursa doesn't really love Ozai that much, but she bared him 2 kids. I believe it's implied that they actually might not even be Ozai's kids, but whatever. But Ursa and him, she consoles him, and maybe they have a few drinks, and and she's unhappy, obviously, with Ozai, and he's, desperate for some sort of, or he needs just some sort of help, condolences, all that. One thing leads to another, a night of passion, and making each other feel wanted and loved, and she is actually born, Zuko is actually born instead with Iroh. But here's the thing. She obviously is still married to Ozai, and I'm sure they were doing it too, to conceive a child. So, because he assumes they're his, and I don't believe it's ever said that they're not his. I think it's just some people believe that it is in fact possible she may have had an affair with someone else. Anyway, so Zuko is born, and if I'm not mistaken, Zuko is in fact the older brother, isn't he? Age age 16, and so by Avatar: Last Airbender, whereas Azula is age 14. Yeah, actually, yeah, Zuko is in fact the older brother, by a year, but still. So you could say he's like, I think of you as my own, is because it's not even that I think of you as you're my son. So I think for the time being, you wouldn't get much of a change in the Avatar story up until I want to say up until Ba Sing Se, like that whole I think of you as my own thing. I do think Ursa would have told Iroh that she was pregnant and that that she thought it was actually his, not Ozai's. So this actually leads to a completely different thing where once we get to the Ba Sing Se thing, it's the question of it's not about if Ozai tells Zuko. It's when It's not when if Iroh tells Zuko. It's when Iroh tells Zuko. And there's two ways to see it. I say Ba Sing Se because where Zuko kind of starts to have those changes, changes with himself, like personal, you can make an argument that might be a good spot for it. I actually think that Ozai, I actually think you'd be more likely to. Iroh might drop hints towards it, but I think really what you would get is the change in really part 3, where he betrays Iroh, and the whole he's struggling with who he is. I don't know who I am, and it turns out, and I bet something along the lines of finding, because I remember, it's been a while since I actually just bought the entire series of Avatar: Last Airbender. Can't wait to actually rewatch it again. But Iroh has the crown, the symbol for the crown, Prince of the Fire Nation, and his family lineage. And he, I bet Ursa would have also, left the letter or something like that for Zuko. Trying to get my words straight here. For Zuko. For Zuko. And Zuko's like, what is this? It's like, what is what is what? It's like this. I just found out. Is it true? Is it true? It's like, and he sees the letter and it's Ursa's handwriting. It's like, I see. It's like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that Ozai isn't my father? Why didn't you tell me that you're my father? Tell me. It's like, what would you have me say, Zuko? That your mother was unfaithful to your father? That I in my weakness, that I in my weakness and her unhappiness. That I, in the weakness of losing my son, and her, the unhappiness of your happiness of being with your father, had an affair. From that affair, you were born. Oh, how you are already struggling so much with your self identity. What can that? And, I can see Zuko. I can see Iroh really having a conversation with him. Like, there's a reason I wanted to tell you every single day. But you were so hell bent on the Avatar, your honor, all this. What would have really helped? Would you have even believed me? And Zuko, struggling, and he walks out angry. But then later with this confrontation with Ozai, flat out says, "No, I will choose my own destiny, and you're not my father. I know the truth now. You're not my father." And whoop, got my arm on the wall there. Thank God the dog didn't go wild. But I can see I can see Ozai. I think Ozai probably would have figured it out at some point. It's true. You have too much of her and your uncle in there, and my brother in you. I tried to steer you the right path, Zuko, but you were unable to see the vision. You were unable to come truly to my side. But no matter. No matter. You're like father, like son. Like a failure is a failure. Like father, like son. That's like the only failure here is you. you for failing to be. I can't really. I'm thinking this up at the fly in terms of dialogue, but basically it's a similar confrontation, except he throws the fact that he's more of a father to me you've ever been, and the fact is he is my father. You're just a man. you're no one to me but the enemy, and I know my own destinies. It's the Avatar's destiny to defeat you. It's my destiny to help him do it. Fool, coward! You want to know what happened to your mother. But sure enough, Zuko, saves the day, saves himself, and redirects the lightning and all that. So the only other big difference you get here is that when he finally meets up with Iroh again, I was just sleeping there. It's like, Dad, actually, you know what? I could see it kind of being like as much as I still follow the camp people who like The Rise of Skywalker, but it's not only the weakest of the trilogy, it's actually a pretty weak Star Wars film. Like all the new Star Wars films up until that point, I had liked on some level. Some of them I really liked. Not so much on that one. It's still, I think, okay, but not amazing. But I do like that line with Kylo Ren and, Harrison Ford, and just like, he's just, he's like, I'm so sorry, Father, I'm so sorry. And then Iroh comes in and gives another. He's like, why aren't you mad? Aren't you mad? I was never angry with you, only sad because you lost your way. And you found it on but you found your destiny. And you found it on your own, my son. It's like, and then it's like, Dad, I know, but now is not the time for such things to go. We'll have plenty of time for this when the war is over. And so, yeah, other than that, there isn't much I could say would really change. It would be a different dynamic relationship between Ozai, Iroh, Ursa, and Zuko. That would be, and Azula, I think. Azula, but not even really Azula, because Zuko doesn't really interact with Azula in any way in this version, where, it's like, oh, so you're not even really my brother. Well, no, born of the same mother, half brother. Not that Zuko would really, be that kind of character. Hey, that'd be more of a second thing. More like half brother, but whatever, sis. I was like, you peasant. Anyway. So, yeah, ultimately, I don't think there'd be a drastic change, believe it or not. I think that the way the events play out would, personally, between the characters, would definitely be altered, but the end result of the series wouldn't change very much. Still, it's clear he's a better father figure and a better role model than Iroh ever was. I did it again. Ozai ever was. So, basically he is Zuko's father, and everything but genetics. So, take that for what it is. But until then, that's my thoughts on this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. By the way, I did like the picture I chose too. It's just like, what? Like, they're looking at the what if picture, and it's like, it's like, what? But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, who wants to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I'll be back with, since I am feeling a lot better now, I think just doing this has helped me get rid of my headache a lot. So I'm going to be, let's see, this is coming out on Tuesday. Next What If is the part 15 of the Naruto What If, so keep your eyes out for that. Until then, thanks for watching. See you later.